Hey, this is Keena B, and welcome to Say Anything. Say anything.
Why can't you just say anything?
I'm gonna say anything.
People just say anything.
I swear, people just say anything. Welcome to Say Anything with Keena B. I'm back. I'm back. Welcome to Say Anything with Keena B. I am Keena B. Thank you so much for joining me. I am back. My voice is still not at 100%. But the good news is I now have this little bitty microphone that should help me project better while my voice is still healing from whatever this is. And glasses are filthy. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Okay. Just put down in the comments if you can hear me better than usual. Like you say, this mic is okay. Then in the comments, put a Christmas tree in the comments. Okay? Put a Christmas tree in the comments. I went to the doctor. I got tested for flu, strep, COVID. None of those things. None of those things. So hot tea it was, hot tea and prayer until I was able to get everything situated. Um, what are we going to talk about today besides my sinuses? I hope none of you are going through that. If you are, because I went on, interesting enough, I went live to let y'all know last Monday that I would not be posting a episode this week. And some of you offered some tea remedies, and I've been getting a lot of different advice about different types of tea remedies that I should be taking. And I was drinking tea every day, like all day, every day. It really was soothing to drink tea. I wouldn't suggest drinking coffee. I pretty much completely eliminated dairy while I was sick because, it doesn't help with the mucus. And a lot of broths, a lot of soups, but the different tea remedies, to get back to that, different tea remedies. I would like to know what you all drink when you get ill. I did I did a concoction that my parents made up. They have this like ready-made concoction for all things illness, where it's like cut up lemons and a little bit of honey, cut up lemons, some cayenne pepper, and it's something else that I'm missing. And they just, it's like this, it's like a roux for tea, for a roux for tea. And it's just the honey and the lemon and the whatever. There's no water in it. It's just to let it ruminate. And it just sits there until you're ready to use it and then mix it with the actual tea that you're making. A lot of people do hot toddies, which has like a dash of whiskey in it. I was told to do a peppermint gin um, type of concoction. I was told to do just when my voice started going in and out. I was told to do vinegar and honey to bring my voice back. Um, I turmeric. I was told to do some turmeric and tea. Um, concoction. What's the other one? Gold. Um, it's a natural herb that grows around these parts where we live. And right now I cannot think of it, but it's gold something. What is this herb? Gold. You know what it is. I know I did a lot of ginger. I did a lot of goldenrod. That's what it's called. It's called goldenrod. And you're supposed to dry it out. I did not dry it out first. I picked it, I boiled it, I tried to drink it. I think I might have made it worse. And then they were like, someone was like, "No, you should have dried it out first. You should have dehydrated it first." But I was following a recipe online, so but it didn't make it better any faster. But people swear by that. People swear by goldenrod. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's helpful. I'm sure it's helpful. I just it is supposed to be good for inflammation, which I had a lot in my sinuses. I had a lot of inflammation because I could not breathe through my nose. But now I can. So I don't know, other than just remnants of just holding on. I don't know why it hasn't completely dissipated because I can breathe again. All those things are back. I don't know why it hasn't decided to just dry up completely. So I'm still drinking my tea. I'm still, uh, trying to make sure it doesn't double back on me and double down. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on. And I've been told that people want to talk about it. People want to talk about what's going on. It's so depressing, um, but yet necessary, right? Because if we don't talk about it, then people feel like they're alone. They feel like they're alone and the things that are going on. And I need you to know that you're not alone. You're not alone. Everybody is struggling with something, and it does not help when um, your local, state, and federal governments are not behaving. Your representatives are not behaving in a way that is helpful to their constituents. Um, so we're in the middle of a government shutdown. I used to work for the federal government, so the threat of a shutdown was not something that was new to me. However, I am no longer a federal employee, so the actual impact of a shutdown does not um, directly impact me as much as it would have if I was a current employee. Um, for those of you who don't know, the U.S. Postal Service is separately funded. So that does not mean that they're not impacted by it because, of course, there are a lot of intersecting parts, right? Um, that work within that area, but they're not impacted when it comes to pay. They still get paid. Um, but a lot of federal employees, a lot of them are what they call needed exceptions. They are what they consider so crucial to the functioning of the United States government that they still have to work even if they don't get paid while they're working. That includes the Social Security Administration. That's where I used to work. They have to work typically because they're considered crucial to the functioning of the government. There are many employees like the Secret Service, TSA, things like that, people who are considered crucial. So therefore, they still have to work even though they are not getting paid. Um, and for many federal employees, not all, but for many, they are just like anyone else out there who is earning a paycheck. If they lose a paycheck, they are now in dire straits. They now are missing a mortgage, missing their rent, unable to pay for food, unable to get gas to even get to work. Now, there are options where people can request things like a furlough in order to not have to go in, but in the past, what has happened, and someone can correct me if I'm speaking out of turn because it's been a while. I have not, like, it's almost been 2 years since I've worked for the federal government, and things have changed. Um, in the past, though, while I was there, even if a person went on furlough and they were no longer, they weren't like, they went on basically a leave. I'm just going to call it a leave, although it's not a leave, it's a furlough. Um, Once the shutdown was over, everybody got paid that time back. Everybody, whether they were going to work or not, they got paid that time back um, because it wasn't their fault. Okay, a lot of the current concern is that they do not know if they are going to get those funds that they are missing back. Um, and people, in addition to the fact that they are now out of pocket, their funds are not out of pocket, and most people do not have savings that are 6 months deep or whatever amount of time deep. Now they may be able to dip into their savings programs. And I mean, they may be able to dip into some of their savings, but a lot of people don't have savings, right? And it's the holiday season coming up. And even if they did have savings, they might have had it for a particular use, right? They might have been saving for a vacation or saving for a new appliance or saving for Christmas or whatever holiday that they might have been saving for. And now they're having to take those funds that they had allocated for a specific reason and use it for their daily living, which was completely unanticipated and also um, not their fault. Not their fault. Um, I don't, regardless of what your political uh, leaning is, you do not want to see your neighbor suffer. You do not want to see your neighbor's children suffer. And what is happening is that it is now beyond federal employees and to the public, right? And you have individuals who have gone without SNAP benefits for a couple of weeks or so, and pantries, food drives are up. The use of those things are up and climbing. And if there is a silver lining, which there always is, the fact that communities and churches and different organizations are coming together to ensure that people are able to receive resources so that they can eat, they can have food. It's a basic necessity that people should be able to have. Um, the unfortunate side, the unfortunate part of all of this is that people who were elected to represent us, the people, elected by us, for us, are not holding um, the individual's best interest at heart. And they are playing Russian roulette with people's lives. Like literally playing Russian roulette with people's lives. People need food. People need food to live. And now, if you were fortunate, like I'm pretty fortunate to live in the countryside. Um, it's about to be deer hunting season. We can grow our vegetables, our fruits and vegetables. We can grow a lot of things. But if you are not fortunate enough to have land or uh, the ability to hunt, um, or because whatever the case may be, if you if that is not your situation, then you're stuck somewhere where you are beholden to what others do and don't do. That's a scary place to be. That's a scary place to be, particularly if you don't have family and if you don't have friends. This is where community becomes really important and not isolating yourself. Um, And this is from someone who likes to be by themselves. You can't isolate yourself so much that you don't have an avenue to get help in times such as these when help is definitely needed. Um, so whomever you have beef with, I suggest you fix your beef. Okay. For no other time, there is no other time like the present to start some reconciliations with friends and family. Okay, start taking this, whether you were right or wrong. You know, it's time to start rebuilding those connections because the federal government, the state government, they are not going to take care of you if there is no other uh, uh, sign out there in this world that you cannot count on outer a government to take care of you. Now is that moment, okay? Um, you have to be able to take care of yourself. You have to be able to have uh, connections. You have to be able to have outlets, family, friends. If you don't like your family, get some friends. If you don't like your friends, you better stay connected with some family. You you cannot disconnect yourself from everybody. It takes a community. Do not be that person who is found in their house alone and gone from this world because they were just too stubborn to keep connected to people. Keeping community is a survival skill. I was scrolling one day through my phone and I came upon a video where the artist, advocate, historian, Killer Mike was speaking on a panel or a town hall, and he was talking about how within particularly the Black community that they were not ready for a true um, revolution, for lack of a better term, because strictly because they lacked survival skills. And he brought up a point that I myself have spoken with my husband about a lot. And the reason we talk about this is because we live out in the countryside. We have lived in several places. Um, he has lived several places as a single individual. I lived several places growing up as a single individual. And then together we lived in a couple of different places. And we've been both in major cities, we have been in suburbs, been in small towns, we have been in middle of the road towns, we have been in rural countryside. And the one thing that always amazes me is that when there is an emergency or some type of natural disaster in the rural countryside, people are much more capable. Now, this is just from my perspective. We are much more capable of fending for ourselves and connecting with other people within our community to survive, right? And I don't care if it's winter, I don't care if it's summer, if something has happened, these men, these women will get out. For example, a tree has fallen across the road. They will get out their own tools and cut the tree, get an axe, whether they have. Do you see what I'm saying? They will suddenly they'll be coming up in tractors and they're big 4x4s, and they will cut that tree to all these bite-sized pieces, you know, and haul them out of the way, trees out of the road. That happens in a major city, and everybody just stops and looks at the tree, like, and waiting on the utility companies to come, or waiting on. And I get that in some situations it is better to, because of um, dangers that are in cities that are not in rural areas. Like maybe it's near a utility line, maybe a power line is down, right? And so therefore you would have to wait. Whereas in a rural area, we can look and see, oh, there's no power line nearby. Cut it up, let's go. But still, the very idea that we can and do is something that people in major cities don't. Now, I'm originally from Houston, Texas. I lived in parts of St. Louis. So I'm not, and I've lived in Philadelphia for a little while. I'm not saying that people who live in major cities are incapable of doing things for survival. I'm saying that if you watch the reactions of how long it takes for them to make moves for themselves versus how quickly someone in a rural area will just pick up and start doing things for themselves, because we got to keep it moving. I, you know, it's it's and without it's not that we don't call our county representatives or state representatives, say, hey, we need help. It's just that we know that there are things that we could do for ourselves. um okay, so I'm tying this back into Killer Mike. Killer Mike was saying, can you hunt? Can you grow a garden? These are basic things. Can you grow your own food? Can you hunt your own food if you are an animal eating kind? Can you survive with off the basically, can you survive off the grid? Okay. Can you make your own fire? Could you get your own water? Do you know what I mean? If everything were to go to pot, right? Could you survive without having to um, call your government representative to come and assist you, or a business or something like that to come and assist you? And people were kind of upset. For whatever reason, they thought that this take was controversial, but really it's kind of basic in my opinion. And I think anyone who has lived in several places will tell you the same thing. There are some things that are really basic. You should know how to you should know how to use a gun. You should know how to aim and shoot. You should know how to hunt. And if you don't want to use a gun, bow and arrows are still a thing. If you don't want to use a bow and arrow, some people learn how to do it with a sneak attack with a knife. Okay, pick up a spear. I mean, do whatever, however you want to learn how to do it. Do it. But I do think that there are some basic things that we should know how to do in specific areas, even if you live in the city. Um, Particularly if you're talking about revolutions, because what is a revolution? But but what is a revolution, y'all? What happens when people have revolutions? Things tend to get bad before they get worse before they get better. Like they always get worse before they get better. And so you have to be able to have some skills. Um, so in hard times, in difficult times, in uncertain times, it is not about what you can do alone. It's what you can do within a community. Do you have the community? Do you have the skill sets? Are you learning the different things that one needs to do? And I'm not saying you have to be great at it. You don't have to be great at it. You just have to be willing, able, open to it, and learn something. You don't have to be excellent at it. It doesn't really matter how you start that fire so you can grill your food. It matters that you're able to start the fire to grow the food. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, but there are some people who don't even have that ability, not without um, a conduit of some sort, not without something there to help them do it. And the thing is, can you just take friction with friction and make a fire? Like, it seems really, it seems so basic when I'm talking about it. Like in my own head, I'm like, it just seems such a basic idea, but it's not a basic idea. It takes real ownership and accountability. It takes real ownership and accountability to recognize where we fall short and what we need to learn. There are still skills that I need to learn, um, and still skills that I want to learn, but and things that I could get better at. But I know the basics. Like I know the basics to making quilts. I could do what I can. I know how to get the scraps to put the quilts together. I know the basics of crocheting. If I had to put a blanket or make clothes, I know the basics of I know how to make a fire. I mean, you know what I mean? I do know how to hunt. I'm not a hunter. I don't go hunting, but I do know how. Does that make sense? Like I know how to shoot. Like do you like I know all the basics that are necessary. I know how to grow food, and have grown food. We have a garden currently. It's not something, you know what I mean? Like you 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 know how to look for the things that you need to forage. It's not saying that you need to know every single herb out there that is out there because I don't know all the herbs. I'm learning every day. I found out about one. I mentioned one that I just found out about, right? And that I did it the wrong way, right? And they said, no, the best way to do it is this way. But the fact that I was willing to try, do you get what I'm saying? There are people who are not even willing to try. They're not even willing to try. You have to be willing to try these things because it's about basic survival. And the more you do things, the better you get at doing these things. Um, you know, you, everything can't be about what others can do for you. However, when you're building a community, you have to be able to ask what there's and not ask for those things that you need and offer something in return. um there are those who have amazing skill sets in carpentry and things like that, and what can you offer them? If things were hard times came, what could you offer them in return? If money became no longer an issue because it didn't exist, if the dollar no longer mattered, what can you offer? Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter anymore. If we all had to go back to the bartering system, what could you offer right now? If all you know is what other people are doing for you, then let me say this: systems fail all the time. And if you read your history books, all the many history books that are out there, systems fail, but people, if we are interconnected and we are helping one another, we show up. We show up for each other. In every generation, systems have failed and people have shown up. The people don't stop living just because governments aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Life, life continues. Why does it continue? Because the communities that have been established allow them to continue. You formulate new rules. You barter in a different way. You use what you have. You share what you have. You give what you have. Friends, family is a necessity. And I know, and I say this as, like I said, an introvert who doesn't like to get out a lot. I'm not out, I'm not out and about like that. But I do know that it is crucial to establish community wherever you are. Uh, you know, it's crucial to know who you can turn to for different things and what you can offer as well. What you can offer. The first thing should always be, what can I do for you? What can I do for you? We are all better than the sum of our parts. All right, that's the discussion for today. I hope I hope you guys make some sense of it. Go out there and learn a skill. Okay? If you made it to the end, if you made it to the end, please like, subscribe, comment, give me your opinion, and also if you made it to the end, put a yellow heart. Put a yellow heart in the comment section. A yellow heart. Have a great day.